range specialist, but what for? Honestly. Intensive training, underground threat, that's what I'm looking at more, because, well, underground threat would be worth a thought here. Instead, I go for intensive training, apparently. My opponent is getting temp range. I don't know why, but he also has range specialist, so his units have now, what is this now? 27 additional range over mine. I see that I have a level 3 Sabertooth here, so I think field maintenance is actually not bad. I'm putting a missile down here and down here, simply to protect my opponent. Of course, is missiling this once more. So far, I mean, he has the eco advantage. He can throw missiles out as he pleases. He is, however, also buying out and getting temp range, so he will be down 300 supply next turn. Which means that if I can survive this, I'm actually going to have the same eco for one turn at least. I'm finally getting an upgrade, and now this should be able to... yeah. It's, well, this should be able to eat one of these tanks here. It is. Barely, but it is. There is an actual breakpoint here to note. Everything dies in the flanks. And now suddenly this fight is looking a lot different with the heal on the Sabertooths. Because these Wraiths, they don't do that much damage. They used to do like double damage to what they do right now. They no longer do that. That's it. Is it really going well for me? No, it's not. All of my marksmen have been killed, so this level 1 Wraith is still going to be capable of taking out everything I have on the ground. Maybe except for the Sabertooth. I don't remember if it does enough DPS to burst that down. However, my opponent is finally losing one of these pesky anti-missile devices. And I think he's going to lose the other one as well. Yeah, they are doing, with the tanks here, they are doing enough damage. However, the Sabertooth is turning around, and it actually is capable of destroying the sledges, and it's moving on ahead. It is capable of taking the anti-missile device out as well, and probably other turret. No, I don't think it will have the time. But it is finally a turn where I lose not as much health, and my opponent finally starts losing some health as well. More unit reinforcements. Overlords definitely worth a thought against both the Overlord, against the Wraiths, and of course for Photon, because with everyone being at each other's throat, Photon is just worth it. He's going into the tanks with EMP, of course to counter my Sabertooths with healing, but Photon is actually really good in this situation, because to put it very bluntly, with the buff now lasting 4 seconds longer, despite it having much less damage reduction, it still has better EMP protection value. I think the nerf to Photon was well deserved. He throws down another missile. I throw down some wasps in order to get his tower, and I think that missile is going to hit the wasps, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure. I'm also dropping down some more Stormcrawlers to clear chaff better. Probably should have made them level 2, honestly. Well, I couldn't have afforded it, I guess. So what happens in the flank? No, it's hitting the crawlers. But this is why I was mentioning that everything always died. Now 2 crawlers survive and they drag his crawlers over there, so my flank doesn't work. I got so annoyed at this. Hate it. That said, tanks doing their work. Now, however, the EMP is getting through that the Photon buff has expired. However, I also have a tower debuff, finally. And that means that my marksman here stays alive. I still have my overlords, I still have some wasps, I still have some chaff, and it ends up being quite a good turn for me, for once. And suddenly my opponent is finding himself closer to dying than I am. Despite the flank failing, if I might have to add. And me having had a worse eco for quite a few turns. Anyways, senior manufacturing worth a thought, but it's probably not going to do too much. Both players getting it, though. And I think what we're doing is just dropping more and more overlords, isn't it? Levels are coming down on some of these units. I think the Sabertooths have done a good job. overall. The question is, what will he do here? Because just dropping 2 missiles probably is going to do everything he needs. Alright. Overlords on one side. I instead decide that it is Wasp time. I'm getting Wasps. I should not have picked the senior manufacturing then. I'm getting Wasps with range and aerial spec. Now these Wasps against air targets have 135 meters range. They, is that already with the temp buff? Yeah. So his Overlords still outrange my Wasps, but not by much. Simply because he does also have the range specialist. I was not thinking about that. Oh, now, okay, now they actually outrange my opponent once more. But are they enough? They are just 2 packs of level 2. He's put staggered missiles here. One hits that, one hits that. 2 crawlers still survive, so my flank is not accomplishing anything. 1 wave goes down, 2nd wave goes down. I think, or was that an overload? I'm not sure anymore. Anyhow, my units are rolling in. It's basically now overlords against tanks and overlords and wasps against a whole lot of tanks. My wasps here are not accomplishing as much as I would hope, but they are getting some of these overlords down. On this side, of course, they win. And I don't even know how this is ending myself. I don't remember if I won it or lost it. I'm pretty sure it ends this turn. EMP definitely good against these Sabertooths. They are locking onto the wasps. That is bad. And now it's, yeah. Unfortunate. Okay, it does not end this turn, it would seem. So under the tower debuff, and of course the retargeting, the Sabertooth can heal up to full health, basically. Is it enough for my opponent to kill it? I don't think so. It's kinda hard to see, because it's just in this direction. It is definitely doing enough DPS to kill it eventually, but it's got 10 seconds left when I started the sentence. And no. The Sabertooth does help me survive this turn. Final round, probably. Any round loss is going to lose the entire game, I think, at this point. I don't think we can count on another Sabertooth saving the match. Well, I guess there wasn't that much left anyway. But once again, Typhoons. And for someone who has just double-tacked into Wasps, that is probably a good choice. Or someone who is facing someone who has double-tacked into Wasps. I don't know how this ends. Legitimately, I forgot. I forgot if I won or lost. So I don't know what is happening now. Apparently he invests instead of the Typhoons into the Mustangs. I guess it's an additional squad you can deploy and you can defend here. Oh, he's going for anti-missile. Well, that's not the correct choice, I can tell you this much. There is, that's why I invested into a lot of Stormcallers. There is a total of 7 packs of Stormcallers. He's not gonna intercept all of these missiles with 3 packs of Mustangs. I decided that I need some better chaff clear. Also, of course, shielded fangs would always be an option. So I'm going for incendiary bomb Vulcans. Temporary upgrades, of course, coming down. I still have a lot of money to work with. It's really hard to see down here, but it's 1,100. My opponent, however, still has 1,450. I'm getting range on my overlords, dropping another one. Dropping another one. He's getting shielded wasps. I guess that's reasonable, but my wasps can take care of that, in theory. But it's definitely a good way to deal with stuff. Alright, the photon overlords are engaging. And we will see what happens in this turn. He definitely has a lot of DPS between all of these units. My overlords outrange his overlords, but his overlords are stronger overall. Marksman definitely doing the job. Chaff has basically been cleared, but can they win it? Remember that he still has a very scary tank force on the ground. And now I have a double tower debuff, and there is no, I repeat, there is no levels into towers. So he gets 18 seconds of tower debuff. And I think he's gonna do it. Yep, he's gonna do it after all. Despite my best efforts, and despite, I think, him investing into anti-missile being a bad play, he ends up taking the win by 3 health. Yeah, 3 health. That stings. But I still think it's an absolutely amazing match. It definitely was a close one. The Wasp production in the end and the double tower debuffs he accomplished with his fat tanks, that won him the turn. I never had much in front of my towers, which is why he got the tower debuff so quickly. And I should have probably sold out of these Wasps. I should have expected him to defend against that. Maybe if I had put another pack of Wasps here, that could have won the turn even. But yeah, a very close match in my opinion. And very well played on my opponent. I just still hate Aggro. No longer as much as I did before. I don't want to whine about it all day anymore. That I kind of got reminded. I should not be whining about Aggro that much. But in the end, I still don't like Aggro. Yeah. He did some really good plays. Despite, I think, he also did a bunch of very unoptimized plays. But the Wasps with shield, I didn't even notice that before, with shield and triple tech overlords in the end did it. So if you won, it can't be that stupid, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and until next time.